Evolutionary.org, episode 631 is coming your way. Today we're going to talk with the moderator, NoahWixx. We're going to talk about his comeback. And on this one, we're going to go over some cool topics. We're going to go over Noah's big update from yesterday on his log. We're going to talk about Noah's mental struggles over the years. We're going to talk about what his plans are over the next year, if he still wants to hit the stage and compete, or if he wants to extend that longer. We're going to talk about some logs that Noah likes out there, give him a chance to talk about some other guys and gals out there. We're also going to talk about what Noah has learned over the past year on steroids, training, and diet. He's going to get into some crazy stories, and we're going to maybe talk a little NFL as well. If we have time for that. So it's going to be a really, really fun show. Let's get right to it. But first, let me remind everyone, we are on Apple, we are on Spotify. If you want to support our podcast, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff. That helps the algorithms pick up our podcast and helps us continue to grow into the top bodybuilding podcast out there. So let's get into it first. So Noah had a big update yesterday. He took some time away. So Noah, why don't you touch on that first?
Wait, sorry, Steve. Steve, can I just interrupt for a second?
Sure.
And something that we meant to do as well, just to let you know, Noah. And this is from the bosses. This is from the forum. It's from Stevesmi and myself. And it's just to let you know that we're super grateful for everything you're doing for us, for the forum members, for coming on the show today, but especially, obviously, with the help and assistance that you give everybody on the forums and the role that you play, and just basically your day-to-day good guy kind of activity on the forums. Just to let you know that we're grateful and make sure that everybody is passing on their thanks. That's from us, the bosses, and the forum as well.
No, I appreciate that. If it's very, very humbling to hear that. And honestly, you guys, the bosses, everybody, as much as I appreciate it, nobody needs to thank me. Like this community, I love the guys and everybody here. And if it wasn't for this place, I wouldn't have come as far as I have with my mental health and overcoming that, and just it's just an awesome place. So I greatly appreciate it, and that means a lot coming from you guys, because I have a lot of admiration and respect for you and Steve, and I've listened to the podcast for years, and I've been on the forum for a few years. So
Yeah.
it's very humbling. So thank you guys.
Yeah, and,
That's
and
no
at the end of
problem
the
at all.
day, at the end of the day, you definitely earn your way up to now on Evo senior moderator. So that's an amazing accomplishment. Also Evo VIP as well. So those are both excellent accomplishments. And congratulations on that. So your latest update from yesterday. Let's get into it. Your current weight's 240 pounds. Your height is 5'11". Just to remind everyone as well, on the Evolutionary forums, you can go on the top right, hit the search button. You'll see a search box. You'll see a buy member box. So you can put in NoahWixx, NOAH space WIXX, or just put in Noah, and then the NoahWixx thing will come up on its own. It'll kind of like pop up on its own. And you can click on that to find his post. And you can always find access to his logs or anyone else's logs, my log, Mobster's logs, by simply checking out someone's signature on the forum. So in Noah's case, he has one, two, three, four different logs in his signature. So you can check that out, and you'll be able to see his prior logs as well, as long as along with his current log. So currently, Noah, you're up to over 240 pounds, 5'11". Says you gain while on cycles 15 pounds, lost 5 pounds, so current gain of 10.6 pounds that can consistently hurt firm. So you're a big boy, man. You've gotten big. For 5'11", 240 is big, especially considering you're lean. So tell us about that. Go ahead and unmute, and then tell us about that, Noah.
The only thing I could think of is how you always talk about people from the Midwest being chunky, and that's it just makes me
Well,
laugh
you're not from
because
the
I'm like,
Midwest, aren't you? From like the East Coast?
yeah, yeah, and we'll get into that later because
Oh, okay.
everybody's gonna hate me once they find out my football team. It's fine. But yeah, so when I started this, I was around 220. I started to kind of I was gonna cut originally, and then my coach saw how well I was putting on size. So then we were just like, all right, we're just gonna go full tilt, and 3,500 calories later, and 300 grams of protein, and 300 plus grams of carbs, and kept the fat kind of moderate. I mean, it's anywhere between 70 grams to 100 grams. It was nothing crazy, but um, yeah, I mean, this was my first run with 500 milligrams of testosterone, and I couldn't believe how much I blew up. I know it's definitely not the Masteron because I ran 250 mast with it, around 150, 250. I kind of deviated a little bit here and there, but yeah, I just, man, 500 milligrams of testosterone for me seems to be the sweet spot for growth. I couldn't believe how much I grew and how strong I got at the rapid pace that I did. Um, it was kind of mind blowing because I know some guys, they like to mix a lot of compounds, but I've kind of been on the team of let's keep it simple. Let's do one, two, maybe three compounds here and there. But for me, 500 milligrams of testosterone really, really blew me up. I mean, 15 pounds in less than 12 weeks, and I probably could have kept going.
Well, you're
I just
using
decided to sit
quality
down.
gear. I think also some people respond really good to gear, but you're also using really, really quality gear. Mobster and I, back in the day, half the time we'd get like underdose gear. We didn't even know what we were using, you know? So we didn't have access to, now you can send stuff off to actually get tested. So they can't fool us today, but they used to be able to fool us. So I think that's a big reason. But I also think you're a big responder. Do you think so?
Well, my biceps are. I don't know about the rest of me. Seems like that's the one genetic lottery that I completely won on. For some
I
reason,
actually
they
gave
just
you a
they just
comment
grow.
this morning saying that. I was like, man, your biceps are fucking huge for a guy who's 5'11", because usually taller dudes have long, lankier limbs. Not always, but usually. So it's just like, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and I kind of keep it simple with a lot of stuff. Like if anybody checks out my log, I don't really complicate my training very much. I've always been a volume guy,
Well, let's
even when
talk
I was
about your arms
bulking.
while we're on that subject. What are you doing
Yeah.
for your arms in your log? You do a lot of like mixed exercises. You seem like mix the compound and the isolation.
Yeah, so it kind of depends on the week. I'm the type of person to where some weeks I'll deviate and take an exercise out and add a different one just to hit a different stimulus or a different part of the head of the bicep. But I'm a huge, huge fan of doing standing easy bar curls, more heavy. I like to do cable one arm curls. I'd like to do dumbbell side curls. That's a big one. Or one thing that I do that some guys kind of find it unorthodox because you don't really see it. And I know Beamy at one point had commented on my log about it. So I grab a 25-pound plate in each hand, and the hole where you usually slide the bar into, I'll put three fingers through the hole where the barbell normally goes, and then I'll rest my palm on the back of those plates, and I'll extend my arm fully down and out, and then I'll curl it up just using those three fingers in the back of my palm, and I'll flick my wrist up once I get to my front delt and just really squeeze the top of my bicep to work on the peak. So those 25-pound plate curls, honestly, more than anything, is what helped me build my peak. For me personally, I just get so much stimulus in the bicep with that, and
But
it kind of doubles.
you're
Yeah.
squeezing. And
Oh,
that's what I think a
absolutely.
lot of people don't realize is it's like people don't
Yeah.
realize how important it is to really stimulate that muscle and force it to grow. And they don't do that. They just want to move the weight. And,
Let,
especially
let
a
me
strength.
let me jump in for a second here, guys. I've actually done this at exhibitions with people, and I think you've just given a great example there, Noah and Steve, obviously understanding exactly what's going on. So we'd have a 10 kilogram, 22-pound dumbbell at the stand at this company that I was working for. And I was said, pick the dumbbell up and curl it loosely. Just let the dumbbell roll around in your hand, but with your thumb over it. So moving around when you're not gripping it real hard. And tell me what you feel. And then I would have them do the same couple of reps, but this time with a tight grip, and instantly they would get a better contraction in their bicep. And then finally, we would put on one of those kind of fat grips that you can buy. And I said the same again, loose, and then the same again, tight. And instantly, you could get a better contraction. Even Sandow back in the day with the wooden and very lightweight dumbbells would have you squeeze these dumbbells. And because you squeezed it with your hand grip, you would have a better contraction in the bicep. And if you look at my log, I've been doing concentration curls, and my arms are still, I think, 19 and a half inches cold. So the whole contraction thing, people don't understand. It's very easy for me as a lifter to go from A to B with as much weight as possible. But I can do a fraction of that weight and get a fantastic pump or burn in my bicep just by squeezing and contracting. And that is hard to teach newbies, get them to understand. I love the fact that you're doing it. It's not a great heavy weight, but look at the contraction, look at the results you're getting. And obviously, people see your photographs and think how fucking great your biceps are. Absolutely. So, proof of the pudding right there, guys.
Yeah, if you go back and you look at some of my photos that I posted yesterday with that massive update, you can see my journey from like 3, 4 months, like where my biceps were and how much size I actually put on them, and some size that I added to my
On an
triceps as
average
well.
height person, 10 pounds is 1 inch. So you've probably put on, you're slightly taller than average, you've probably put on an inch, inch and a quarter on your arms just on that poundage that you've gained in body weight, which is fan
Yeah.
fucking tastic. In what period of time? How just to let listeners know again, how quickly what's the time scale that we're looking at here between what it was before and what it is now in
Oh
terms of the
man.
last month? 8 weeks, 6 weeks?
Yeah, 6 to 8 weeks, I would say, because you got to think too, which this is going to blow everybody's mind. And this could be also a segue into how fantastic the gear is that I run, that I get. Um, with my job being physical and making a complete career change, I haven't trained in the last 3 weeks. The only thing I've been doing was my job, which is physical. It's a lot of lifting, bending, squatting, pulling, pushing, that kind of thing. My first actual workout, officially being back after taking 3 weeks off, was yesterday. So the size you see on my biceps was me not working out for the last 3 weeks and just working a physical job. So put that into perspective. Like the size you see now, and I haven't gained or lost any weight. The last time I was at the gym, I was the same weight as I am now. So let that blow your mind for a second and sink in.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
big for sure.
that's the thing. The guys, again, this is your newbie approach who doesn't seem to understand, and we get this with the logs, which we're going to talk about. Noah's going to talk about analyzing what you're doing, talking about rest and recovery. Some guys will come onto the forum, and I've pointed it out a couple of times. I'm going to train 6, 7 days a week. No, 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 no. You're growing when you rest. You've probably been smashing it a lot harder, especially with the new gear, like you said. And yet, ironically, you've not been able to train as hard as you want to for the last couple of weeks. And here you are looking amazing and just doing a physical job, which has just brought out a little bit more from your training. Probably, although physical labor is always going to be hard, it's not the same as lifting a weight and squeezing your bicep in the gym. But in a perverse way, I mean, I've done it. I've made progress on 2 days a week when I was doing a physical labor type job. It was hard because you're tired from the fucking work you're doing versus what I do now. So yeah, look, guys, you need to analyze what you're doing, listen to what Noah's saying, changing jobs, being more physical, and yet still growing. And again, that is a great indicator for good nutrition and a great indicator for the better standard of PEDs that he's using versus, as Steve said, what we didn't know. We didn't test shit. We didn't have void tests. We didn't do lab tests. Who the fuck knows what we were getting back in the day, Steve?
I wanted to ask you too, how many hours a week are you working at this new job? And is it all labor or is it like kind of half and half or
Yeah, so for me, I work 4 10s, so 40 hours a week. I'm up at 3 a.m. I'm at work by 4. And other than the short little drives in the truck here and there to go to the next facility, it's all physical. Like I'm pushing pulley carts with wheels that are anywhere between 500 and 1,000 pounds. Like I'm
Mhm.
kicking floor mats, so I'm basically doing leg extensions all day. Because some of these stops, they'll have big like 3 by 10, 4 by 12 heavy floor mats, and I'm literally kicking them up and rolling the dirty ones, and then bending down and picking up like 10 at a time and putting them on my shoulder and throwing them in the cart, and then I'm laying out new ones. So everything I do is all picking, pulling, bending, squatting,
Yeah.
you know,
That's a
and
lot
plus,
of exercise, yeah, that you're
yeah,
getting
plus
right
I'm
there
doing 5 to 7 miles of walking a day, 4 days a week on top of
for
this.
what? Just on your
Uh,
own?
just no, like at work, like because all the facilities, like some of the facilities are medical, some are factories, some are
So you're gonna
restaurants.
walk through them
Yeah, and I have to pick
stairs.
everything up. Yep, yep, stairs up and down. Yeah, so it's amazing that I've been able to hold my size, and I think that's because I did the smart thing, and I started, like, I've always prepped, but for this job I prep a lot more, and I bring a big lunchbox with me, and all I do all day long, I just eat in between every stop. It's protein, protein, carbs in between whenever I can get it in, because I can't eat a full meal in the truck because I'm in a 30-foot box truck. You're bouncing around. So a lot of it is just
Hmm.
easy protein, easy carbs. Like I have
Mhm.
overnight
And
oats that I shake up. So
overnight boats?
oats.
Oh, okay. I thought you said boats. I thought you were like on boats
Yeah,
too.
you know me. I'm just chomping at the wood because I'm so hungry.
So how much sleep are you getting through all this?
Actually, that's the phenomenal part, Steve, is
You have
since
to go
I
to bed
switched.
early, right?
Yeah, and since I switched this career, so before in the restaurant industry, because I spent 20 plus years in the restaurant industry, and I didn't work till like noon usually. So I'd stay up till
Mhm.
4 or 5 in the morning because I knew I could just sleep
Mhm.
whenever.
I'm sure you, but
Now,
I don't want to be nervous. I'm sure you can give us a lot of stories about that. How many,
yeah, yeah,
what
yeah.
names you were naming the rodents in the back, right?
Yeah, yeah, no, 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 no. I was very, very particular about a clean kitchen. Like even now, when I go into some of these kitchens, these restaurants, I'll be with my coworker and I'll be like, "That's disgusting. That's a health code violation. They'd get shut down for that. This is nasty. I would never eat here." So, but yeah, as far as like all of that goes, with this job, it's kind of been a blessing because now I'm in bed by 7, maybe 8 p.m., and I'm averaging about 7.5 8 hours of sleep a night, whereas before when I was training, I was getting 3 4, maybe 5 on a good day. So like just from my mental health and mind aspect, it has increased my drive, my motivation, and my positivity in ways that I can't even explain. So this whole career change is making me a better bodybuilder. And I never thought the two would correlate until I started working this job. And I was like, oh my God, my lifts are better, my mood is better, my drive is higher, my focus. I don't even have time to think of negativity. I'm just positive and driven, and I'm understanding who I am now and where I want to be. And it's actually been a blessing. It's been fantastic.
Mobster? Are the people you work with, we had another guy talk about this. Are the people you're working with also into lifting and stuff, or are they just like big gear beer gut people?
So actually a lot of the guys, there's like two guys that are a little bit overweight, and then most of the guys are skinny, and then there's one other guy who's way older than me. I think he's like 50, and he's really into lifting. He's got a type A personality. The way he trained me, like he he means well and he wants me to do good, but he's kind of a dick. Like all he does is haze me. I feel like I'm in some fucking college fraternity or
What does he
something.
haze you about?
Oh, like say like I kick a rug, right? And I don't, and he's got really bad OCD, right? Say I kick a rug and like a corner of it's off. He'll be like, "Oh, that's the shittiest rug I've ever seen." He'll just jab me all day long for 10 hours.
Oh
And
my gosh.
yeah, yeah. So, but here's the thing, like he's a nice guy. He's just one of those guys to where he has to talk shit all the time,
Yes,
you know?
yes.
But here's the thing, right? So he trained me for like 2 weeks straight. And at one point, like I just had enough. And this was actually recently. This is like last week. So we have to change these really big industrial sized dust mops. They're like massive. It's not like a Swiffer sweeper. These things are they get tangled up, they get twisted, they're hard to put on. Everybody who starts this job struggles with it, right? He sees me struggling, so he's on the back of the box truck watching me. And instead of helping me, he's like cackling like a hyena and just laughing at me. And I just felt this rage build inside of my body. And the more he laughed, the more pissed off I got, to the point where like I looked at him, I threw that dust mop off the wall and then slammed it on the floor and looked at him. And I said, okay, you're done talking shit. I'm done with your fucking mouth. You're either going to help me or you're going to shut the fuck up. I said, because I'm with you for 10 hours. I said, we're either going to do
Yes,
this together
yes.
or you're not going to do shit. So after that, I realized I never set boundaries with him because I don't know him. He doesn't know me.
Maybe
It's
he
just
Yeah,
was just
basic
like you
small
were
talk.
cool with it, you know?
Yeah, but see, but I'm cool to a point where
Yeah.
like you
You
can
just had
poke fun
enough.
at
yeah,
me. You
yeah.
can like,
Look,
but
we
train me
train,
right.
we're confident, we're kind of outgoing. You're on this show, we're talking about personalities and stuff. Let me give you a silly example, Noah. I worked for a very brief period a few years ago with Amazon doing the Christmas shopping shit, right? And we got moved around, and I was one of the few guys because I remembered my stuff from back in the day about putting my effort out and being physical and shit. So they kept me on and kept me on and kept me on as more and more people released. As we got closer to Christmas, they were letting people go, and I was one of the few that they retained. So I got moved from one department to another, keeping the team, keeping me there on a short-term contract. and we got moved into the dispatch part of it, almost at the end of the very last bit before it goes on the trucks. And this young lad was bouncing around like an idiot, and you knew that he was, as you just said, pushing the boundaries, testing the boundaries or something. I don't think he was making some joke about big man or whatever the fuck. And anyway, he was getting on, and it was like a fly. I didn't really pay much attention to him. And then at some point, as you say, halfway through an afternoon of doing a shift, I think I said, I've eaten bigger meals than what you fucking weigh. Shut the fuck up. All right, big man, all right. And he just calmed the fuck down because I needed to almost sort of let him know where there was a boundary, what you can't take the piss out of, you can't yank my chain or whatever else. And again, you with these people, this is going to be a regular thing with you, with this person. It's almost like you need to earn their fucking respect by making sure they know they can't fuck with you. And then once you do that and they see that you're working hard, you're one of the boys. I've even mentioned this on the forum, didn't I, when I said about the CUNT word with the Australians, and I said you can be our CUNT. You're not no one else's CUNT. So you've probably got his respect. You're probably more part of the team because you've done that. You're the new guy. Who the fuck are you? All that kind of vibe. And again, you train. You should be confident. You know you can handle your shit. You know you're working hard. What the fuck is this bullshit that I'm dealing with? Now he knows he can't do the bullshit too. It's going to probably be that much easier to work, that much easier to get on with shit. We do this in the gym. We do this in life. We don't want to do it when we're fucking doing this shit for 10 hours a day.
He
There's
actually
not enough
changed his
money.
whole attitude,
Yes.
actually.
Yes.
Like,
So
after
that's
I
your
set
tip,
that
Noah?
boundary,
Like when people out there listening to this, maybe they have a toxic work environment. Is that your advice or is that a little risky? Because you do something like that, he might go to the bosses or he might be your boss and he might like fire you or something.
Oh,
it's
man.
funny.
Man.
It's funny you say that though, because here's the thing. Like, it was one thing for him to, I don't care if somebody jabs me and makes like pokes fun of me a little bit
Yeah.
like all
Yeah.
day. I don't
Yeah.
care. You could do it 10 hours a day. That doesn't bother me. But when it comes down to doing the job and we need to be serious and you need to
Yes.
train me because I'm new,
Yes.
fucking train me. Like, don't
Yeah.
just talk shit and watch
I
me
would have been like,
struggle.
dude, I would have reasoned with him as an adult and written him a very, very tough letter. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, no. Here's the thing
Oh,
though. Like,
no. You need to work for HR.
yeah, no. After I set that boundary with him, though, he completely changed his attitude.
Yeah.
Like, he was a lot
Good.
nicer. He was a lot more understanding. And I think, like, because I told him, I said, listen, man, I could take a lot of shit. And I said, I put up with this for 2 weeks and didn't say a single word. I just worked hard. And this job
That's
takes a
good.
full year to fully understand and learn.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, I actually apologized to him directly after I did it because as a man, I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? I should control my emotions. I shouldn't have lost my cool. I apologize. Like, that's
Yeah.
not professional. And he
Is
was
this
like,
like a blue collar union
it's a
job?
no, it's not union, but it's blue
Okay.
collar. It's definitely blue
Yeah.
collar and physical. But he
Yeah.
looked at me and he goes, you know what? He's like, I don't hold grudges.
Yeah. Well,
He's
I mean,
like,
I
you had
think
to
at the
get
end of
out
the
what
day,
you
it's a
got out.
physical tolling job. Why do you have to also make it mentally tolling? It should be mentally, you should support each other and the mental
Right.
aspect. Because physically, you're going to beat your body into the dirt. So,
I just think he forgets what it's like being new because he's been doing this for 7 years.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
I think he just
Exactly.
forgets like how long it took him to learn. But after I set
Exactly.
that
That's
boundary,
good.
he was a lot nicer and totally cool about it and understood, and
Yeah.
we're all
So,
good.
yeah, that's a good tip. So let's get into the mental struggles. That you've had since you said from the 20s. So what originally started the mental struggles, you think, in your 20s? Was it like a breakup? Was it just changing
Um,
yourself
so
or
I'll go kind of deep on it, and I know a lot of people listen to this podcast, but I believe in accountability and I believe in being open and transparent with people because everybody knows me well enough now to know my personality, but I'll uncover some of the layers and share with you guys. So my mom was a single mom. My dad got my mom pregnant, split when I was born. I think I've seen him like maybe 5 times. So that's been a black cloud that's kind of hung over my head since a child because I've always blamed myself for it. And I never felt that I was good enough in life or good enough for anybody or good enough at my craft. So all the times that you guys would see me be negative in my logs and be like, I'm not good enough, I don't look good enough, or tear myself down, it's stems from my childhood with the trauma that I went through with that. Like whether it was my dad being absent and I just wanted him to be my best friend and I wanted him to be proud of me and we haven't spoke since I was a child, and he just didn't care to do it. Or like my grandfather, like me and my mom had to live with my grandfather and my grandmother for a long time because she was 18, a single mom, and he was a drunk and super abusive. And I used to watch him hit my grandma. He used to hit me, locked me in a closet one time, made me kneel on broomsticks, like
Your
just
grandpa used to do that, or your dad?
yeah, my grandfather to me.
Jeez.
Yeah, so
What the
I went
fuck? Like,
I
who
went
the? That's
I
crazy.
yeah, he was a drunk, and his whole thing that he liked was like whiskey and codeine, and he was just always fucked up on
The
something. And
drinking made him like that because usually grandparents
yeah,
love their grandkids. They would never do
no, he
that.
had a like this guy could be the nicest guy in the world and then flip in a
The
second.
drinking.
Yeah, his temper, he could go from 0 to 100 in a split second. And my it's not my mom's fault. I love my mom. She's the most amazing person in the world, and I'd do anything for her. It's just I understand at the time she was trying to put herself through college and give us a better life, and she didn't have a choice. Like my grandmother was the sweetest woman in the world. She was like my second mom, and I mean, what am I gonna do and what is she
So
gonna do?
he locked you in the closet like for how long?
Whatever long he wanted to.
With
Like
no
if I
food,
did
no water, no bathroom?
yeah, if I did something bad, like he just put me in there
What was the
sometimes, or
long
it
what
was
was the longest he put you in there?
I
Sounds like a
appreciate you.
movie.
I appreciate you laughing at my childhood trauma,
I'm
Steve.
sorry. It sounds like one
this
of those movies, like where
this
the
fucking
person.
this fucking guy over here. Yeah, no. I
We need to report him to HR again, mate. He's
yeah
obviously
yeah
sort your shit out,
management.
Steve. Come
No,
on.
yeah, I'm gonna write you a fucking slip. But 2 week suspension with no pay. But no, so it just would depend. I mean, it could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, just depends. But like I just like the most common thing with him is if I did something bad, he'd try and chase me around the house and whip me with a belt. Like that was just pretty much the most common part of it. So a lot of my depression came from the abuse that I saw. Like I watched him verbally abuse my grandmother and try and physically abuse my grandmother. And then I've seen a lot of violence when I was a kid because a lot of times my uncles would have to come over and they would have to like either restrain him or beat the shit out of him kind of thing. Like, so I grew up in a very like,
Why was
there was
he
a lot of
like that?
turmoil.
Did he grow up in that environment? Do you know?
Well, I don't know what environment he grew up. I knew that like he was ex-military. He was in the Air Force. He served in Vietnam
So
kind of
maybe he
thing.
saw a
So
lot of shit.
it,
Post-traumatic, maybe. Yep.
Yeah.
yeah,
Post-traumatic syndrome, maybe.
He probably
it
saw
could
his
have
friend get
been.
his head blown off, and that fucked
I
him
mean,
Yeah.
up.
let me be clear on a couple of things because I've done voluntary youth work, and we had to do some training on with kids, obviously, and traumas and whatever. Okay, right. So, just as adults, talk very quickly. 101, right? Often we are a reflection of our backgrounds naturally. So, army stress, military stress. Quite often, as parents, we can be the opposite of where our parents are. So, if our parents are crazy strict, we tend to be more chilled, and that's like a yin and a yang type thing. I think relationships should always be, and I was kind of like this with my daughter's mother. My mum, she would be very giving, and I was a bit more restrictive. But that's in a way balanced because then you get to see both sides more. Me being more restrictive, more disciplined, not violent or anything like that. Noah just talks about, but a little bit more, less. Yes, no problem. Let's get on with it, sort of thing. So that there were restrictions. You had a time to go to bed and so on. One of the things that we try sometimes, and I don't want to make excuses here, we try to understand why the person is doing what they're doing, especially as we're adults. What I want to say to you now, Noah, is in terms of, and I don't know if this is going to help you or not. I hope it's going to help you. Whatever the fuck happened before is not a reflection of you. It's not, you aren't responsible for any of that. You wasn't the reason why that shit was happening or whatever else. And it can be very light and trite sounding to say this, but I use this phrase that my daughter did when I was struggling with my own mental health a few years ago, and it was only for a short period of time. And I was getting really, really, really pissed off with the idea of a particular person. And that particular person, once I'd moved, had no idea that I was pissed, no idea that I was stressed, no idea that I was carrying around this fucking thing in my head or whatever. And my daughter said, why are you letting that person rent space in your brain. They don't even know you fucking exist. They don't know. They're off doing their own shit, just annoying someone else, pissing someone else off. And you are walking around with that thing in your head that fucks you up and whatever. Now, this is obviously one more thing, which is more for the listeners as well as for Noah. We have reasons why we do what we do in life, whether it's being good at our career, working hard at school, but specifically, as per the subject of most of our podcasts, what makes us train hard, what gets us to go to the gym on the daily and do the grind, do the meal prep, do the research, support people on the forums. And it can be different for different people at different times. It's not always even the same for me, whether it's music or I can go to the gym annoyed. So in a perverse kind of way, sometimes this trauma, this stress can motivate you to want to improve, can motivate you to want to be a better person, to motivate you to come on this show and share your story and help someone else just like yourself in the same situation, saying, look what Noah's done. Look how hard he works. Look how much money he's making in his career. Look how he's working with his team of people. Look how he's sorted out that fucking problem. Look how much he's progressed. So even though he's been very open and honest, which is fantastic in and of itself, sometimes there's a sort of positive that can come out of this, Noah. And I hope, hopefully, even just talking to us today, all joking aside, because guys sometimes do that when it comes to things like this, and we can get a little bit uncomfortable. I like the fact that you're being open and honest, and you will be helping someone else to be open and honest in the future. And hopefully this conversation, and maybe even just my few words, are going to help you a little bit with you dealing with the shit you've had to deal with in the past and put that energy into something in the future. So thank you again for that as well.
Yeah. And then I was too, there was abuse with me growing up. I just want to be clear as well. My dad, like 95% of the time, was a great dad, but 5% of the time, temper, he would do stuff as well. And I'll never forgive him from the stuff my dad did. I would never forgive him for that shit. Just like you know, I'll never forgive your grandpa for this shit, for what he did to your grandma, especially. Not even for what he did to you, but what he did to your grandma. That's fucked up. And no
Yeah,
man
just
should ever
sitting
put
there.
their hands on a woman, and no man should ever put their hands on a child or
It
an
was just
animal or
tough.
anything. Yeah,
It was just
horrible.
tough,
So how
man.
old were you when you were in that situation, and how did you get out of it? And
Oh
then
God, we lived with my grandparents from the time I was born until I was maybe 10 years old. So 10 years of going through that. Um, and like for children, the first 1 to 5 years really shapes a child's
oh
mind
yeah,
and
I
molds
agree
them.
100%,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
Like the
yeah,
way I
yeah, yeah.
am is because like literally
Absolutely.
my first 5 years was smooth sailing. Like my parents were happy. You
Yep.
know, I go to
Yes,
preschool. I can remember
yes.
that, and and then my stuff started happening once I started getting a little older. But like that first 5 years, like the way I am now, I'm always happy. Like I'm on a high. Like I'm on a high all the fucking time. So all you people out there who are having kids, the first 5 years, exactly what Noah said, you make sure, I don't give a shit how much you hate your wife. I don't give a shit how much you hate your girlfriend. You better make sure that you
Yeah,
provide the perfect environment that first 5 years, because
Yep.
that will be what they experience the rest of their life. Absolutely. I
Yep.
agree.
And I just say this too because I'll bring this up as well because I am 37 years old and these memories are forever burned into my brain. And just anybody who listens to this who has kids, and like to touch on Steve's point, my dad used to promise me that he would come see me and come visit me. And I used to get super excited and super happy because I wanted to see my dad. I wanted to be his biggest fan. Like I wanted him to be proud of me. And I remember being 5 years old and we had a big bay window in the living room, and I would just be sitting there for hours waiting for my dad to show up when he promised me he would take me somewhere. And I would end up crying because I'd be waiting for my father who would never show up. And I bring this up to say, just be consistent. If you tell your child you're going to do something, be there for them. Don't just use empty words and empty promises, because I remember every single instance of him never showing up. I remember the
yeah,
5 times he actually did show up, and I'm 37 years old and I still think about it daily. But I bring this up to say I've been running away from these problems and these issues for 20 plus years now. And if it wasn't for Be Me in the Evo community, just building a friendship with me, and I love the guy like a brother, he's family to me now. I am on a better path now and doing better now solely because of him. He got me to open up in ways that nobody ever has, and I trusted in
Awesome.
him and confided. And I'm here talking openly with you guys now
Yeah.
because of
Yeah.
BMe.
Yeah, and
I just
Beamy
wanted to
is
point that out.
those of you who don't know, Beamy is on the forum. He is a moderator, and this guy is he's something special. I mean, we had him on yesterday. You got to listen to the
Yeah.
podcast if you haven't listened.
Yeah.
He's got some crazy stories. This guy, they should make a movie on him. Like he's got a crazy story. You guys will be shocked at that. So what happened, Noah? Now, as you became a teenager, um, and you got into your 20s, like what started changing for you? In terms of like life and
Life, yeah. So so the thing that like I really gravitated towards sports, and the way that I buried my problems of depression started with the gym and with sports. So I spent most of my time focusing on being a better athlete, being a better lifter. Even in my 20s, I played football, not at college, but I did the semi-pro thing for many, many years. And I pretty much spent most of my time burying my problems, and that was the problem. Like I didn't know how to seek help. And I was one of those guys because I was born in the 80s. So, like, going through that generation, your coaches would smack you, they would talk shit to you, they would tell you what the fuck's wrong with you, like get your head in the game, like you're a loser. They would just berate you, and you just took it because if you said something back, you weren't playing. And so I came from that kind of generation. So I just thought it was normal, and I didn't realize how not normal that was until my conversation with Beamy, because I really went in depth with it. And he was like, dude, you're one of the nicest people I've ever met. You're a great guy. You help so many people. So many people look up to you in your log. And it just blows my mind that he said that, because I'm like, I'm just a regular guy. Like, I don't really feel I have that much to offer, but I'm really thankful that people really like to
see
listen to
people
me
from
talk and my
Philadelphia are
log.
nice.
And
It's not just the ego
okay, bud. All
see on
right.
TV beating up
All
the
right,
opposing fans,
pal.
right?
All right. We're supposed to save that to the end here. Now you're just making it hurt. But yeah, it's like it was one of those things where he was like, dude, your logic is so fucked up and backwards. He said, you have no idea how fucked up you're thinking right now. He was like, you're nothing like what you're thinking. And it just kind of resonated with me and opened my mind. And I did a career change because of him, and I'm opening up to you guys because of him. And I say that to let everybody know all it takes is one person to be a catalyst or a spark for somebody to get help. Because my generation used to believe if you talk to somebody or open up, you're weak as a man. And I had to
Yeah.
break the cycle of thinking that way, because it's just completely not true.
Yeah. It's weird. It's actually the opposite. The people who are like you are actually the alphas and actually the mans. The people who keep it in and torture themselves and torture
That's
their
Yeah.
what I did
family are the
Yeah.
betas. Yeah.
forever. I did that
Yeah.
forever. I
Yeah.
kept it in and tortured myself for
And
20 plus
torturing your
years.
family and torturing
Yeah.
your pets and torturing your neighbors and being that dick that everyone hates in your neighborhood. We
I
all have.
hid this I
Yeah.
hid this for so long from so many people, to the point to where
Yeah.
I I would just say I'm fine, or it's okay, or I would
Yeah.
smile. Or my way of doing it is, you guys know I joke around a lot, and I'm very, like, I
Yeah.
try to praise people and make them feel good. And that was my way of dealing with my trauma, was by helping other people, even though I couldn't help myself. And at one point it got so bad that this was probably like 4 years ago now. I almost took my own life. But someone walked in, and
Really?
that, yeah. So that's, I know it's like a bombshell. Like, I know nobody would expect that with my
Yeah.
personality or who I am, but my depression got
Do you
so
mind
bad.
talking about that more
Yeah.
specific? How were you going to do that and who stopped you? And how
Oh,
did you come out of
I
that?
was just I was just gonna slip my wrist upwards with
Hmm.
a razor, like a straight
Jesus.
razor.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah,
Did your girlfriend
yeah,
help
yeah,
you? And
yeah. She walked in, and yeah,
it's the same girl you're with now?
yeah. So
Oh,
that's pretty
okay. So she's a
much
good
that's
girl then.
yeah. No, she's phenomenal. Like, I just
Yeah.
I
You
can't
would have
stress
hurt
enough
her
about
by
her.
doing that. That's what people
Yeah,
don't realize. You don't
yeah, and
hurt
then
yourself, you hurt your loved ones.
yeah, and then I
She
would
would have
have
found you,
and
and
then
that
I
would
would
have
have
been
hurt
something
my
she would have had that the
stepdaughter.
rest of her life to deal with.
Yep. Yeah, and then
That's why I
my
say for me, like I'm not gonna do anything risky. I'm not gonna jump off a mountain. I'm not gonna do skydive. I'm not gonna do anything crazy as long as my mom's alive. Once my mom dies, then I'm gonna go fucking crazy. I'm gonna go fucking jump off waterfalls and do all that crazy shit I want to do. But I'm not gonna do it until then. You know what I'm saying? Because I
Yeah,
know
it
I'm gonna hurt
was.
her. I'm not gonna hurt myself by doing crazy shit. By
Well, that and like my stepdaughter too, like she would have found it, and it just like it. But you know what? That's the thing. Like when people are at that point, they don't think about other people. They are so hell bent on ending it and what they're going through and what they're suffering through that they're so in their own head that they're blinded to the fact that there's so many
yeah,
people out here who love you and care about you, and it's selfish to take your own life because of
exactly.
those people that
Yeah.
you're going to hurt, but they don't think that at the time.
No, no. So I mean,
And that's the
that's
fucked up thing about it.
yeah. And like, dude, me too. We talked about it yesterday on the podcast. I went through some financial problems, maybe 15 years ago when we were going through the financial crisis. And
Right.
most everybody was going through it, but like sometimes, there was one point I was driving on the road. I was like, just let me turn the fucking wheel and just fucking drive off this embankment because I got so upset, because I went from having a lot of money to having to being almost broke and it
Yeah.
sucked, Then I was like,
I've
I
had
gotta
those thoughts myself. I
a
know what you're
lot of people
feeling
went through
like.
that, especially our age group, and we went through that because we had a
Yeah.
big, economic catastrophe, and a lot of people got dragged down in it. But at the end of the day, you realize like, life is fucking short as it is. You just gotta
Yeah.
fucking pull through, like it's okay,
Right.
So you gotta
Yeah, and
come.
I'm doing much better now because of, like I said, with Beamy in our conversations, and we talk daily, and
No.
man, it was like paragraph after paragraph after paragraph he would send me, and he even would check in on me daily. Like if he didn't hear from me for
Yeah,
2 days, he checked in on me on Evo.
he's
Like
yeah,
he just,
he's unbelievable. Like I don't know how he
yeah,
does it. Like, but if
yeah,
you know
he's
like
a
his
phenomenal
history,
person.
you'll be like, wow, now I know. Like, cause
Yeah,
he,
I do. He's
yeah,
he's spoken to me about it in private, and
yeah.
he's been very open as well. But yeah, I mean, I'm not anywhere near that point of like thinking about taking my life
Yeah.
or
And now
negative or
you're on the
anything.
forum though, helping other people.
Yeah, and like it
That's the
takes
ironic
people out
thing.
of my time,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's crazy, but it's like
Yeah.
if I can use my trauma to better somebody else and help other people, and a lot of
Yes.
people like when I say things like it will get
Yeah.
better,
So let
like
me
we're
ask
here
you
for you.
this, and then we'll move on. How
Yeah,
how have you? So 4 years ago, you were literally about to commit suicide. How did you get turned around? Because people are listening to this now, and we talked to Van Bum yesterday, and he said
sure.
you and Mobster literally saved my life by doing an addiction podcast. And I went back and I
Yeah.
listened to the addiction podcast again, and I was like, wow, I didn't know I had that much impact. So maybe there's someone out there listening going through a
Yep.
tough time. How do you get those wheels turning around?
As far as like digging myself out of depression, the way that I like it sounds kind of fucked up when I say this, but I spent so much time telling myself that I can beat this, I can figure this out, like I don't need help, I'll do this on my own. That mindset of, even though it's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, I believed in my mind that I could beat this without opening up and getting help. And for me, that's what kind of kept me going, was trying to figure out the different pieces of the puzzle to connect it to build the overall bigger picture and put it all together to find a way to beat it. So what really kind of kept me going though was the fact that like I met my coach on Evo as well, and he's been with me for a few years now too, and he's been so supportive and just an amazing human being and funny enough, he's from Canada just like me, but that's something about Canadian people, man. They just have a way of
Oh
of
yeah, dude, they're the nicest
understanding and
fucking
helping
people,
people.
dude.
I
But
know,
they're
it's crazy.
crazy, but they're
Yeah, they
nice.
are.
They're the nicest fucking people.
Yeah,
Like at the end,
yeah,
like
literally.
they'll like you watch hockey and see them beating each other up, and then 5 minutes later they're shaking each other's hand. That's
Yeah.
Canadians for you.
But honestly, like I'll the real thing that really helped me, I believe in my mind, was just the Evo community, because I had goals and aspirations to work towards, and I had a community that was relying on me, and I knew I had a community that I needed to be here for to help. And I slowly realized the more people that would comment on my log or talk about the episodes that I was on previously, that they loved listening to me and like hearing my perspective and my down to earth demeanor, like it
Yeah.
just all started clicking to me that maybe this is my purpose and this is what I'm here for and this is
Okay.
what I should be doing in life, is helping other people, and I can't do that if I'm not here. You know, it's like, but this time around, it's different in the fact of I'm also helping myself. I'm not just putting myself on
Yes.
the
So
back burner.
Yes.
let's jump. We'll definitely have you on in the future. We'll talk more about this.
Yeah.
I really want
Let me
really
just
quick,
give
really
you
quick, Mobster.
one line, guys, just to finish, right? Something that we never used to talk about. We are now talking about different generations. My dad's generation, his dad's generation, even to a lesser degree, my generation wasn't talking about prostate issues, which we now talk about. And for years, men especially, and we're way worse than women in this regards. We're still the worst for suicides. Way more men than women. Women talk about how men have got it all great in society. Sometimes you go, hang on, we commit suicide more. And the thing that we started to talk about, and Noah's a great example just now, is we're getting more okay, more comfortable, if that's the right word, at talking about these issues. And again, just by talking about it on this show, he will have put something out there into the podcast, into the internet. And if one person is helped by Noah and Steve and I talking about it today, that would be fucking awesome. Again, just to
Yep.
reiterate, Van Life saying that we saved his life was fucking amazing. And Noah, you may well have just helped someone else without even realizing, just by talking about your background
Yeah.
and
That's what I
your
hope.
mental health
That's what I
issues.
really, really, truly hope is that I actually have made an impact today for somebody. And that's what I love about this platform that you guys so graciously accept me on and have had me on several times. And I'm really thankful and appreciative of
Yeah.
you guys being so open and being so gracious and the hospitality you
Yeah,
guys
coming
give.
on the forum and getting a lot going, like look, at the end of the day, some of you are saying, well, I don't have anyone to go to, I don't have family, there's no support, our government in the United States doesn't give a shit about helping people in this regard. Like there's you know what I'm saying, there's no, because everything here is about money, money, money. There's no money in helping people who were in Noah's situation or even in my situation feeling the
Yeah.
way we do to reach out to, because there's no money in it. You're going to go pay a psychologist 150, $200 an hour to sit
You
down and
guys
talk to
don't
them.
pay to be on the forum.
Yeah.
You're
So
not
come on the
paying.
forum.
Beamee's not charging you for help.
Yeah,
We're
we
not
can be
charging
our
you for help.
family on the
Yeah.
forum.
Yeah.
So if you want a family, you come join the Evil family, and you can definitely have something to strive for. And fitness ties into it, and that's a beautiful thing. You don't have to come on the forum and run a bunch of steroids either to be a bodybuilder. So let's talk about that a little bit, Noah. The past couple of years, I'm curious to hear, what have you learned when it comes to steroid use, training, diet, etc., that kind of blew you away and that's helped you really excel much more than you would have ever imagined.
All right, so I'm gonna preface this first by saying everybody on the forum is going to light up my log if we don't talk about my upcoming plans at some point before we end the podcast, because I'm known to drum up clicks and views by leaving cliffhangers, and apparently I know I'm doing it. But as far as what I've learned, the same thing I always preach that I have from the beginning. For me personally, and how I respond, less is more. I 500 milligrams is the highest I've ever taken my test. That's the highest that I will ever take it. But for me, I just noticed that simple compounds, like I don't make my cycles complex. I don't add variables that I can't control. Just live by simple principles. Like I always have an AI on hand. I always take it day one. I use compounds that I know work for me. I don't go for the home run. Like trend was in the cards, but it's not now because I realized from what you told me on my log that once you use that, it's going to ruin everything else. And
Well, now Body Monster is going to come after you for that one.
yeah, well, I got something for him. It's fine, don't you worry. But as far as that goes, I just enjoy the ride, enjoy the experience. Don't start out super high. Just just run something simple and enjoy yourself is really what
Yeah.
I've learned the most. And as far as diet, man, I've been all over the place. I've been 4,000 calories, 3,000, 2,500, 2,000. I learned that some guys cook up amazing meals, and I love seeing it in their logs. Like Yuri, I call him Chef Yuri for a reason because
Yeah.
everything looks like it's
That
restaurant
Mark
made. But
Mark NV as well.
yeah, Mark's awesome. He puts together a fantastic log as well. Mark's a great guy. As far as like me, I just keep it simple, man. Like I know a lot of people like it gets boring for them, but for me, it's like I eat for results kind of thing. And for me, like some overnight oats and some water that I can drink is fine. A protein bar here and there, just plain chicken breast, like a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Like my nutrition, I noticed a lot of guys will try and make it complex because they're on a cycle. But for me, I realized, much like my workouts, as long as I keep it simple and I drive stimulus and I progressive overload over time and I just stay consistent. Like, and that's why, like, Todd the lineman made a joke. He was like, "Oh, Noah doesn't post physique photos because he's skinny fat." And then I posted like 2,500 last night, or so it felt like. And then he was like, "Oh, yeah, you're not fat." Like, but the guys will kind of get on my case about that. But for me personally, a simple diet, a simple approach, has
What about
been
training?
really,
Is it simple? Like simple works for you? Keep it
yeah.
simple.
Honestly, and Mobster will probably like this one because he was talking about how he used to grow on 2 days a week. I have only trained 3 days a week consistently for the last 2 years. I do a push pull leg split, and I know some guys will break that up and go more, but I literally do one pull day, one push day, one leg day, and the growth you guys have seen with the 15 pounds down to the 10 pounds now, and the bicep peaks and all the arm growth, it's literally off 3 days a week, and I take 4 days off to rest. So, like I said, I keep it simple, and I don't know if it can just be my genetics or I just got lucky in that regard. But 3 days of stimulus for me is enough to see results and grow. And you guys could tell from the photos, I look like a completely different person now, like compared to some of the
Some of
photos.
this, Noah, is literally the lifestyle. When I was training 2 days a week, Mondays and Thursdays, my job was physical, like you. I was manual laboring in a meat factory, in a meat processing plant, and I don't think I'd have physically been capable of doing anything else, but it was enough for me to maintain. Now, because I'm pretty much, I say, semi-retired, although I was doing a show and whatever else, I'm busy as fuck this week, and I train 4 days a week. There are guys I know. I've literally popped into the gym to say hello to someone when I've been near the shops before, and there are people they're in here every fucking day, man. But some of these people just like training. They like staying in shape. We're trying to get better. We're trying to get stronger. And the reality is, hard training done properly requires recovery. This is the reason why we use PEDs. It's the reason why we encourage good nutrition and good meal prepping and so on and so forth. Real, serious, proper training, volume, weightlifting, whatever, done to any decent degree requires rest and recovery. And like I said, if I was doing your job that you're doing right now, especially at my age, I'd probably go back to 2 days a week. I might just, as you are, be able to hit 3 days a week. I'd probably want more rest. Anytime I've done a new job, it's fucked me up for the first few weeks until I've got used to it. And I will ease back on my training. And once I've recovered from adapted to the new job, then I'll increase my workload. So, look, guys, it's not a constant. You need to, again, like I said at the beginning of the show, and Noah is already doing this. He's being analytical. He's looking. He's thinking about his work. He's just changed jobs. You're not just working, Noah. You're learning the new job. That's more energy, mentally and physically. So you can't do 4 or 5 days a week. And the way that you're training is obviously fucking working. And look, I've even said this on the forums. This is super important, guys. I could argue with you about training protocols, but if you're progressing, that is the only fucking answer we need to hear. And what did we say right at the beginning of the show for Noah? He is progressing. We can debate protocols, we can debate training frequency, but he has got better 15 fucking pounds in a matter of weeks, an inch plus on his arms, doing exactly what he's doing right now. So it doesn't matter what I say, it doesn't matter what Steve says, he's actually progressing. But again, there are obviously generalities and good advice that we can give out to people. But whatever the fuck it is that Noah's doing right now is working for Noah.
And that's the interesting thing too. I was going to touch on this briefly before we end here. The new challenge that I'm going to take on. I have an upcoming cycle in January. I'm actually going to fully commit with my coach. We decided that we were going to cut for the first time, like an actual cutting cycle. Kind of maybe aim for 20, 25 pounds ish, around there by the end of like 12 weeks. But the fun part is like having this physical job, maintaining my energy, and then finding a way to train. So it's going to be a new mental battle and a new roadblock and a new hurdle, which I'm
Yeah.
excited for the
Are you are
challenge.
you are you all over the TB 500 and BPC?
So I was using the combo of TB and BPC, but these days I just use some BPC. But the interesting thing is going from a restaurant job to a physical job, my body actually feels better. Like, yes, I'm like tired and I could pass out as soon as I come home while I'm adjusting, but from like an actual physical standpoint, my body feels so much better moving all day and being physical
Yeah.
and walking around, and that's kind of the
Yeah.
fun part of it.
When I
But
go fishing, I'll go fishing for like 4 or 5 hours, and man, my body feels it, man. I
no,
gotta
I
take a
believe it.
nap. I like it, and it hurts, man. Everything hurts. My feet hurt, my hands. So I can't
Yep.
imagine what you're doing, but you
Well,
are
for the
hurting.
first couple weeks, man, I would come
Yeah.
home and by 4 o'clock I'd crash and take a nap. Like
A
I
lot of
couldn't stay
guys are
awake.
using TB 500 BPC now. A lot of guys. So I definitely think it's something that we all
Oh,
should be using
absolutely.
for if
I
we're
love
pounding
that
our body.
stuff.
Yeah.
It
And then the
helps me so
GHK
much.
too is something too. I haven't tried GHK yet, but it's something too. A lot of guys are adding, especially the guys in Australia. So
Yeah.
I'm curious to see more about that as well, using all
Well,
three together.
so what I planned on doing, so with the cutting cycle I have coming up, it's also going to be an experiment to see if it can improve my work capacity too, because
Mhm. So what's the
I
cutting cycle going to be?
so I'm going to do a little bit of an experiment. I'm gonna run a little bit of test prop just to kind of see how I can respond with the pip, if my body can handle it, kind of thing. But we're gonna do a combination of test prop and test enethate. Um, and then we're also going to run some GW. We're going to run some SR, and then we're going to run Retta at a low dose, like 1 to 2 milligrams tops. So it's going to be kind of a fun
Have
experiment
you
to
have you used
see.
Red Up before?
I haven't, and I'm also going to run
Okay.
equipoise as well.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm a believer. I'm a
I know
believer.
I've heard such good
Yeah.
things, and like the whole
Yeah.
reason, other
It's
than me
something
cutting,
special. I've seen clients, dude. I've had them lose like 50, 60 pounds on it, like in 5, 6 months. Like, and they
yeah, that's
literally,
wild.
eating clean and not crazy exercise, but like, dude, and these are people that have tried everything and they can't lose weight, but they got on
Yeah,
Rita and Rita really changed. It was their missing link, you know? So I'm a big believer. You're
yeah.
gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
Well, this whole like experiment started because I'm like, well, I need the energy to train at a high level, but I also need the energy to perform my physical job at a high
Yeah.
level.
So
So I'm like,
it won't fuck with your energy. It's not like a stimulant or a
right,
clean or something like that. Because clean on your job, you're gonna be like shaky and stuff. It's gonna be miserable.
right. See, so
So
that's
that's
the
the beauty.
beauty
Yeah,
of
yeah, exactly.
running
You'll
GW, SR, and equipoise for
yes.
endurance and
Yeah.
muscular endurance and cardiovascular stamina.
Yeah.
So I'm hitting this from not just a gym approach to reach those goals, but also the goals and aspirations I have at my job. So overall, I'm going to be a better employee, but also become a better bodybuilder because I always tell guys run cycles that fit your lifestyle and fit your goals. And this is like a two-pronged approach where it's going to meet everything in the middle. And I hopefully by the end, you guys see a transformation that just blows you away. So that's pretty much the
Yeah.
goal. And trying to test nth and test prop. It's kind of like my mini version of like a sus kind of, but minus the bloat, if that makes sense, like of
Hmm.
me doing a longer and shorter ester. But also, I have test nth, which I also tell guys if you're running a compound that you're not used to and you don't know if you can handle it, get the backup compound that you know you can handle that you've run before. So if you need to make an alteration or adjustment on your cycle, it's ready to go and boom, just put it right in, seamless integration, and then you're rolling.
So guys, come check out, guys and gals out there, check out Noah's log, Noah, that space Wixx. Check out his log and see how he progresses. You might be listening to this podcast down the line, so you can go back now and you'll see updates on his log. So Noah, we'll have to have you back to get into some stories. He had some funny stories that we are talking about on the pre-show. We didn't get a chance to get to them.
Yeah.
But before I let you go, let's ask you who are your picks to come out of the AFC and NFC this year in the NFL, and let's see how close you can end up being. Because we're
Well,
on like week 5, week 6 now of the NFL season. So let's see if you can hit it.
oh man. It's definitely not going to be your Dolphins. I know that for sure. Let me see here. You know what? I want to say my team being being the Eagles, but we're kind of in turmoil right now, and I'm not really sure how that's going to go. But
They were in turmoil last year too, and the year before.
I know, but like this year, the offensive coordinator's just junk and it's bad. But you know what? I will say, I am very high on the Buccaneers right now. Baker Mayfield is just playing out of his mind.
Yeah.
So the
Everybody loves
Buccaneers,
them. Yeah.
I don't know, the Buccaneers just seem to be doing so well.
Mhm.
But you can't discredit, like, in the AFC though. I will say, switching gears, the Bills are always up there. And for some reason the Patriots are on a roll right now, which is kind of weird. And the Steelers are on a roll.
The
Like
Steelers lost
I
last
don't
night, and
know.
the Bills lost 2 straight.
I know. That's
But
why
you
it's
still like
tough.
them?
Yeah, I kind of like the Bills just because, like, you can never count out that team just
Yeah.
based on their like Josh Allen. I mean, you just look what that guy does every year. The
So you're
Ravens are
going with the
another good
Bills
team.
and the Bucks, and then who's gonna
Yeah,
win?
oh man, I honestly want to see the Bucks because I want to see some teams in there that haven't been there yet. I mean, what, the last time the Buccaneers were somewhere, who did they have as a
Yeah,
coach?
but the Bucks have won Super Bowls, and the Bills haven't.
Yeah, I
You know
know,
what I'm
but like I
saying?
don't count that. Tom Brady's like not even a man. Like he's a robot. That doesn't even count. Like I want to
Yeah.
see like a gritty Bucks team with like an
Mhm.
underdog like
So you
Baker
got
Mayfield.
Bucks beating the Bills. Okay.
I
That's
do.
possible. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it is. I mean, the Bucks are playing at an extremely high level right now.
And who do you think's gonna end up with the first pick? Who's gonna be the worst
Oh,
team?
the Jets.
The Jets. You got the Jets. Okay.
I
They'll fuck
mean,
up. They'll fuck up the first pick. They'll pick
I
whoever
mean,
they
even
pick will be a
well,
disaster.
listen, man. Even the Browns have one win. The Jets have
Yeah.
zero and negative 10 passing yards, an NFL record for the Jets. How
Yeah.
is that possible?
Yeah. That's the thing though. They'll screw up the tank. They'll win a couple games at the
I know.
end, and
Yeah,
then
but how
then
about them friggin' Colts with Daniel Jones? What a story that is, though. Went
yeah.
from the Giants
Yeah.
being
That just shows
terrible.
you how bad the Jets are. Anyone who leaves the
Yeah,
Jets ends up being a Hall
no,
of
I
Famer.
know. Well, he like went from like the Giants to the Vikings and then out of the league, and then somehow the Colts needed a
Yep.
quarterback, and
Jets
now
and
this
Giants.
guy's on
Whoever is,
fire.
yeah, that's what I was. Everyone who,
I'm sitting here with the wind blowing through the trees, going, I haven't got a fucking clue what you guys are on
Well,
we'll
about.
talk. We'll talk
well,
rugby on the next podcast,
all
Monster.
we know is Liverpool's gonna win, right, Mobster? It's
I have
Liverpool or
no
or
nothing.
idea.
or Manchester United, whatever the
Yeah,
fuck
it's
that
Oh,
is.
I
Liverpool or
get that.
Manchester.
I get that on my Facebook feed. The guys have a banter every weekend about who's winning, and even then, I'm like, "You live in Wales. What the fuck are you supporting Manchester and Liverpool for?" So I haven't, mate.
Mobster
Honestly, I really don't do it.
doesn't have the internet capacity to catch the game.
You can't hack those
I said,
stream
"What are you
sites to
talking?
Yeah,
watch
Yeah,
American
no, no, no,
he's
no,
football.
no, no, no! How
he's
dare
watching it in
you? How dare you, Noah?
420p.
I have it now. I didn't have it this morning.
Hey,
All
we
right.
all got to start somewhere.
Oh yeah,
I
a
remember
fraction
watching
of what you
videos
guys are
on a
getting.
potato, 420p.
Honestly, like yeah, and just for the benefit of the listeners, I get in a fraction of what you guys are getting, but it's still loads better than what I get.
Well, yeah,
But just above dial-up speed.
I mean, if I had to tie a lightning rod to the top of my factory and run a cable to a telephone pole, I would be getting the same thing you
I
do.
just posted on the forum that the only reason it's going better is because the house is running in the wheel quicker than it was before. Honestly, man, it's like
You got
fucking
somebody
stone
out there
age.
holding a rod pointing in the
Oh
different wind
Christ, yeah, yeah.
directions.
Pedal faster, you bastards. Pedal faster.
Yeah. Pedal bike and a
You're
The
doing
lightning
cats are
good
gonna
rod.
stuff.
chew up the
Yeah.
wire now, and you're gonna lose the internet.
Oh
Uh,
God, no, no. It's up above the door. I'll be good.
All
Noah,
right,
thank you so much for coming on again. Thank you, obviously, for everything we've said already that you're doing on the forums. Thank you especially today for being as open as you have. Any more thoughts, Steve, before we finish the show off? And you need a last thought from you as well, Noah.
yeah. No, I appreciate you coming on, buddy. We'll have you on back soon. We'll have to talk about some stories, but yeah, what's your final words on? Tell anyone listening out there why they should come on the forum and join the Evil family, really quick.
yeah, no, Evo, like I said, if anybody who plays my podcast, they'll kind of hear my story and what I went through as a child, and now, I mean, Evo has been a saving grace for me. It's really truly a community of brothers and sisters, and We have excellent people on here who they will check on you day and night. If you have a problem, they'll help you. If you need to talk, they're there. Like, it's a very trustworthy community that's built on respect, understanding, and at the end of the day, including myself and everybody here, I feel like I could speak for everybody. We just want to see you succeed, whether it's out of the gym,
Yes.
in the gym. We want to see your
Yes.
family healthy, you healthy.
Yeah.
We're really here to help everybody thrive. So if that's something that interests you, especially in today's society where everything else
Yeah.
is negative, if you want a positive place to come where you can work on any goal you have,
Yeah.
Evo's the right place for it.
Fantastic. I mean, I would say on behalf of Noah as well, and he's mentioned this during the show, just a person specifically in the words, in the name of Be Me, being super helpful and being there and being that person that Noah's just referred to, checking in. Listen, guys, you won't get this everywhere. Not the way that it's put together, not the way that these kind of things are happening, not the advice you're getting, not the sheer, including Noah's right now, the sheer breadth of experience. We all have our good days and our fucking bad days, but overall, I would argue that the Evolutionary, probably more than any other forum of the last 5, 10, 15 years that I've been on, is becoming that kind of family type place with grumpy uncles and whatever, with us having shit days and whatever the hell. But like Noah just said, and I've said this on a couple of the shows as well when we finish the show, we want you to succeed. We want you to lose the fat. We want you to get into shape. We want you to lift that barbell. We want you to be able to do a competition. We want to see you on stage. We want to see you winning. And if you do that, you win. And if you win, we win. And if you come onto the forums and you share your journey, or if you come onto the podcast like Noah's done today and you share your journey, you are helping other people succeed, and you're helping other people lose weight and gain muscle and put an inch on their arms and whatever the fuck. And that's honestly, whether it's stuff like, and we've had this a couple of times now, I've mentioned it on another show, when the sentence of "you saved my life" comes out of someone's mouth, and that's by virtue of the forum or a podcast or whatever else, it blows my and Steve me's mind that just us doing a show, putting the good message out into the ether, has literally turned someone's fucking life around. And it makes the things that we do, what Noah does, what Steve does, what the forum does, worthwhile, guys. So super, super fucking message. And I'm glad that stuff's out there, and I'm glad that we're trying to help people. And if we can help that happen, that's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, the
Any
forum's the
last
reason
thoughts, Steve?
why I'm
Yeah.
gonna compete next year or in the previous years, like whatever it takes. Like the way I see it is, it's not over until I win. And once
We're gonna get
I,
you. We're gonna get you back as you approach
yeah,
that for sure, and
Yeah,
that will
that'd
be
be
very
cool.
fun to
Yeah.
follow that. Yeah.
Yeah, talking about that experience. And listen, I've said before, just on that note, I just as a sort of thing to go that particular direction. I've said this, mentioned it just the other day on the forums, and reiterated it again, saying, look, I encourage everybody to try to compete. Doesn't matter whether it's chess or bodybuilding or weightlifting or whatever. Try to compete. You will see the best of yourself in that day. You will find out just exactly what you're capable of. And again, with the support of guys, whether it's posing tips, skin tips, prep tips, PD tips, whatever, giving you help and assistance and encourage when the hard days, the hungry days, the cold days, the hard at work days, and you get to the stage and dying on your ass in the fucking pump room, and then you finally get on stage and you get the adrenaline rush, and you realize you've never looked this amazing, this fantastic, this in condition as you ever have before. And even if you only do it once, I encourage you to try to do it at least that one time, because you will see the best example of yourself. I mean, it's like running a marathon. You will know that you've been able to succeed at something that so many people fail at, and that would be an amazing thing. And having you on, if we can, especially in the last couple of weeks, just talking about that kind of mental process and
I'll
the
absolutely
grind.
come on. And you guys know, like if you need me, I'll be there, like 100%. I'm committed to
If
the
I tap you
community
up
and
for 100,
everybody. So
if I tap you up for $100 after the show, you'll understand why.
No, honestly though, like if anytime you guys are gracious enough
You
to
need to go
want
to
my
Mobster's
input,
Castle and run down
Hey, come and fix my
carpet.
internet again.
Run some
well,
carpet down. Maybe that'll help his internet speed.
there's only one way that we're gonna be
Perhaps
able
it's
to
getting
beat Body
tired.
Monster.
How many
Yeah.
square foot is your place, Mobster?
4,800.
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
my
that's a lot of work
God.
for you, Noah.
Yeah.
Fit my
Yeah,
house
and
in there.
that's just the room spaces. That not including all the nooks and crannies and the stairs and shit. So probably
Each
about
cat
5,000.
gets his own floor.
Well, I guess if I
Yeah,
had
pretty
Frankenstein's
much.
castle.
Yeah. Yeah, with the
Wow.
cellar and with the attic, I've got 5 floors. It's 3 main floors and then the cellar and the attic as well.
That's pretty
So yeah,
impressive.
huge.
That's
Yeah.
really, really impressive. But
The
yeah,
attic alone is 600 square foot, man. It's crazy.
Jesus, I could fit a gym in there.
I've got a gym.
Yeah,
You know, yeah.
of course you
That's
do.
not- that's
Because
a-
why wouldn't you,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, no, seriously, it's about my gym's about 900 square foot just on the gym. Yeah,
That's fantastic. But yeah, anytime you guys
seriously.
want me on, and whether it's
Thank
like
you.
at the beginning of my prep, middle of my prep, end of my prep, before a show, like I will
Mm.
always make time for you guys because I respect and appreciate the hell out of you
Yes,
guys.
Thank
sir.
you
We
so
love
much.
you, buddy.
You've
We
given
love
me
you.
a platform. I love you guys too. You guys gave me a platform. You believed in me when I didn't believe in myself, and you've been here since day one with me. So I have a lot of love and respect, and you guys are
Thank you
like
very much, man.
me, definitely family. So I will make any time you guys need, and I would love to document the journey if you guys would like me to.
That would be great.
Absolutely.
All done? Yep. Thank you so much, guys. Listen, as always, please note we are not doctors and the opinions are ours. It is our view based on our experience and views on the topic. A podcast of informational purposes and entertainment only. The freedom of speech and the First Amendment applies.